The telegraph's invention in the early 1800s was one of a kind. It was the first way of communication where people could communicate through long distances. There are many different versions of the telegraph, and it can't be narrowed down to one single person who invented it. However, the accomplishments of three individuals, William Cooke, Charles Wheatstone, and Samuel Morse, significantly played an impact, and especially on how it got to America. William Cooke's telegraph in 1836. He utilized a music box, and when a drum spun, a pen landed on a letter, and somebody on the receiving end could write it down. However, there was a flaw. He could only get this to work across the room. So he paired up with Charles Wheatstone, and together they invented the electric telegraph. They used a series of wires in which they utilized Ohm's law, which says current in a circuit is proportional to the electromotive force that was driving it. So they used a series of resistors in order to be able to get the message to receive at longer distances. And then Samuel Morse came in. Samuel Morse, which the name you may know because of Morse code, he invented a series of dots and dashes which signified the letters that the telegraph would send. However, when he invented this idea in his own telegraph, he disagreed with Wheatstone and Cooke, and he took his own way, and he took his idea to America. So when Cooke got to America, his telegraph had a moving piece of paper, and a pencil would drop, and it would record these dots and dashes to get a message to somebody. So he took his idea, and in March of 1844 received a $30,000 grant from the U.S. government to create his telegraph under the supervision from the U.S. Post Office. By May of 1844, just 2 months later, he successfully sent a message, "What God hath brought," from Baltimore to Washington. Over the next few years, 1846 to 1848, there was more lines established, at least four that spanned from New York to Washington to New Orleans and to St. Louis. So once the telegraph was invented, this revolutionized the way that people in America communicated. So now that you have a better understanding of the telegraph, there's still a lot more ways in which communication revolutionized in America. And the next major invention was the invention of the telephone. Let's tell you about that now.